Yeah, Gato here, and welcome to Gato here. What I'm going to do, I'm in the middle of making a mask and another mask with cat ears, so I figure I'm going to show you how I do my cat ears. I already have this one cut out here. This is the template that I drew up for my cat ears. See, cat ear. Uh, so yeah, so I already have one done out. So I'm going to cut out this one as well. I use a Fisker craft knife here for this sort of work. So now, sorry, now I have my two cat ears cut out for my mask. So the next step is that I apply a material to the wrong side of my ears. The front, this is the front side where all the kind of glittery vinyl finish is. On the other side, I have the mesh lining that will go on the back of vinyl. So I am going to cover that up with material. So and the finished product will look like this. So I got material on the outside, and then you see the glitter on the inside. Take these two scraps. Save all your scraps because you're going to need it for this sort of thing where you're doing extra detail. When you are doing it, you make sure that you are doing this on the wrong side of the fabric. So the not shiny side. So what we're going to do, let me come back here, is I'm just going to glue this to the wrong side of my material. Of glue, and then you take it and press it on like that. It's just coincidence that the scrap I have happens to be the same shape as the ear, but I'll take it because it'll actually make the folding over part pretty easy. So I got that done, and then I'm going to do my other ear. I'll put it about there. Not too worried about those glue marks because they're all going to be cut off towards the end, so that won't affect anything. So I keep my scrap. Okay, so I just swapped my stretch needle for my leather needle because I am working with the vinyl material on the machine. I have my green thread loaded already. I can stitch this thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go around the edge of it and fold this over and then just stitch it down. I'm gonna set it to the middle. Stitch length, I'm gonna set to 3.5. I am just doing a straight stitch here. You wouldn't have a reason to do a zigzag on any sort of a pleat like this, not with vinyl. The stuff ain't gonna stretch, so you don't need a zigzag. So now I have my ear. Then I can cut this excess off. So I'm gonna cut this off here. along the straight edge, so it kind of gives me some more room. And now I'm going to cut around my stitch. Okay, so now I have my ear cut out and finished with the spandex. And now I got to do the same thing with the pink ear. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my curvature for the ear to kind of give it that nice shape. So what I do first, so this is what the end product should look like here. So I am going to fold my ear, so I'm going to give it a dab of glue on the inside here, and then once my glue is set, and then I make a little stitch just on there just to reinforce it. So just going to put glue pretty much on the length of the cutout. And then I'm gonna shape it. Kind of around there, yep. So this is the sort of angle that I got there. I guess that's roughly around, I don't know, 120. Like so. And I'm going to use this ear as a guide to the pitch of my ear. So I can see, I usually try to stack my ears just to make sure that I have two consistent ears. So I'm going to hold on to that and let that set. I'm just going to stitch right where that fold is. So now I have two strong ears that I can sight and put on my mask. On my head, I can see where the ears are. So I typically, now everyone's going to have their own style to doing this, but I generally have the cat ears above where human ears are. So with my ear, I'm just going to put a bead of glue just on the lower lip of it, the flat lip, and I'm going to put some around where my fold is. At the fold line where I have my crown seam, I line that up with like the ear hole, and then from here I usually eyeball it. But I eyeball it so like the two corners of the ear are around the same depth from your crown seam. So the important thing is being consistent here. So as that's drying, I'm going to put on the pink side. And something that I do is, if I had a tape, here's my tape. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side here, but because I put the one ear on already, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from my center seam over to where the bottom of the edge that's closest to the center seam. I'm going to measure over from there to my center seam, which is just a hair over 11 centimeters. So I know it's 11.1 centimeters. So I know that my outside, the outside of the ear should be at 11 centimeters, which gonna end up in the same location in regards to where that ear is. While that glue sets, so the way now I'm going into stitching, and I'm stitching it with a white thread. This is a white glitter vinyl material that I have. And so let's see how well this can be seen. So when I'm sewing this on, I'm starting from the outside edge. Here, I'll use this as a pointer. So I am starting, okay, so I'm starting from here, sewing here, so about halfway to my fold here. About halfway, then I'm turning up and I'm aiming towards the top of the fold here. So just a little bit over. And on my way down, I'm stitching along the top edge of my fold here. So here's the seam there. So I'm sewing along the top of it. And then once I'm clear of my fold, I start coming towards the middle of the straight edge here. So I'm coming to the middle, and then I'm sewing to the corner. And when I get there, I sew along the bottom, and then back to where I started. So that's how I do it. So now I have both ears attached. I tried to make a little bit more in the video of me actually stitching this down, but I didn't have a good way to actually show it without fabric and stuff being in the way. But here's my end result. I started from this end, so I stitched and worked my way up basically to where this corner pit comes down. Work my way up this way to the center and up a little bit more, and then stitch down this way to curve this way. Now when you're stitching this way, I know some might get worried about what the ear is doing regards to getting in the way of your stitching. If you're sewing along this direction here and you're coming up, you're stitching along, your presser foot is going to press this down like that. And then once the presser foot brings this, the curvature of the ear down, you're able to do this little bit of stitching that's up here. So you might have a bit of a panic moment coming into this, but as long as you take your time and let the presser foot do this to your ear, you should be okay. And now, voila, I got ears. Very cool. Yep, I'm happy with this. Everybody wants to be a cat now, so that little bit should help you out. Yeah.